Hi, welcome. This video is about Consumer Guarantee Act 1993. Can I get refund? The CGA is a practical and important act in trading environment. Generally, this act is to protect interests of consumers and make business compete effectively. As for applying this act, all the purchase action should be in trade, not one-off. If you just sell old furniture in your garage one time, that cannot be in trade. Who applies to CGA? The CGA applies to consumers buying things in New Zealand and the business selling product or service in New Zealand. And only consumers are protected by CGA. Consumers are the people who normally acquire goods or service for their personal domestic use, where the goods or service using for business process is not be protected by CGA, like resupplying, reproducing, or using goods or service to repair other goods or feature online.
When purchasing a good, the consumer is guaranteed acceptable quality. It is acceptable in appearance, free from defects, safe and durable. The good must be fit for the intended purpose and must comply with the description of the seller. The good must also comply with any sample or demonstration model of the good prior to purchase. Additionally, consumers should be guaranteed access to repairs and spare parts should they need them. Manufacturer must honour any guarantees given. When it comes to services, the consumer must be guaranteed that the service is completed with reasonable skill and care, must be fit for the intended purpose, and must be completed at reasonable cost and within a reasonable time frame. Some specific examples of service contracts can be seen here. If the consumer is unsatisfied with a good or service, they can undertake one of the following remedies. If the failure can be fixed, fix it. If it cannot be fixed, replace it. If it cannot be replaced, a refund is necessary.
There is only a certain set of circumstances in which a business can contract out of their obligations under the Consumer Guarantees Act. Contracting out refers to a written agreement stating that a business doesn't have to meet the requirements of a specific act. In order to be able to contract out of the Consumer Guarantees Act, a business must be dealing with another business or person in trade. Both sides must also have an agreement in writing that this law won't apply. Contracting out must also be fair and reasonable to both sides, which means that contracting out is mutually beneficial. The main consequence of the Consumer Guarantees Act on business practices is that it ensures that a business's practices are fair between themselves and consumers. The Consumer Guarantees Act provides some protection for consumers because it deems that a business must provide a remedy or replacement of goods or services that aren't fit for purpose. A business is required to try repair, refund, or replace goods that are determined to not be fit for purpose. In situations where a business fails to comply with the Consumer Guarantees Act, there are several consequences they could face. A business could face a fine in violation of the Act, which could lead to damage to a business's reputation, which would therefore lead to a loss in revenue for them. Consumers can also take matters to a disputes tribunal or a district court if they believe that a business has failed to comply with the Consumer Guarantees Act.